the city.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, St. Louis SC fans. Welcome to another episode of Soul of the City, presented to you by Anchor FM and First Touch Media. Today with me, I have my wonderful co-hosts, Jonah and Marlo. And today we are going to be talking about the Cease and Desist Cup, the I-70 Derby, El Missouri Classico, but not really because they ain't in Missouri. That's right. This week we are playing probably our biggest rivalry game against Sporting KC, and luckily we are headed back home at City Park.
Yep. We are playing in rivalry week, and Chicago, I guess, was kind of in the early part of that.
That's not a rivalry. Not if we're getting our ass beat twice in 1 week.
Yeah, so far that rivalry is not going well for us.
They're winning it for sure.
Yeah. So let's just focus on Kansas City. What do you guys say? So yeah, they are not the best team ever. Their first 10 games, they had 7 losses and 3 ties. But recently, they are coming off of back-to-back wins.
League wins.
Because
they lost to Houston in the U.S. Open Cup.
Yes. So they did get eliminated from that. But tonight, later after this recording, they are
right
playing.
Now, actually.
No, I think they play at 9:30.
Oh, I got you.
Because they're in L.A. So they play LAFC. So there's some mixed feelings on who we want to win in that game, I think. Because on the one hand, if Kansas City wins, then, you know, their confidence is up. They're cruising. They're rolling. But if Kansas City wins, then, you know, that's good for St. Louis City in the title race. So what do you guys think about that? Who would you rather have win?
L.A.
L.A.?
Because I feel like if Sporting goes on and they beat Seattle, Minnesota, and LAFC, that's just a great form to be coming in to play us.
I just think it breeds overconfidence, though, and then they show up, they're lackluster because they think they're better than us because of our form recently, and we can get on their heels, maybe get an early goal. Because if you go watch the highlights from those 2 games, the Seattle game and the Minnesota game, there's a goal in the 3rd minute in the Seattle game, and there's a goal in the 8th minute in the Minnesota game. What happens when we go out and we score an early goal? We rout people, bro.
Yeah. But we ain't scoring goals.
Exactly. That's the problem.
And they are coming letting in goals early.
I know. And they're coming into good goal scoring form. They've got a few players up top that are playing pretty well right now. But specifically, they've got pretty decent history in MLS terms. You know,
don't they have 2 MLS Cups?
Yeah. So they've got 2 MLS Cups, one in 2000 and then one in 2013. They also won the Supporter Shield in 2000. So it's not like the President's Trophy in hockey, where if there has never been a team in the NHL that wins the President's Trophy, meaning most points in the league, and won the Stanley Cup. So not a thing we have to worry about in terms of karma. So if you guys want to go out and win a President's Trophy or a Supporter Shield, go for it. And then they have also won the U.S. Open Cup 4 times in total: 2004, 2012, 2015, and 2017. So they're a pretty winning franchise in terms of MLS history.
But St. Louis has more Open Cup wins, so take that.
Way
Fair
more.
enough.
We're the real soccer capital.
We're just still behind on the MLS.
Right.
No, we just got in the league, though.
Dude.
Yeah, we got time.
Showed up to the party late. We're still more fun.
They had a head
So
start.
what, the 2000 was when they were called the Wizards still? Or both? No, it has to just be one.
Yeah, when did they change their name? That wasn't too long ago.
I think it was
It probably was the Wizards in 2000.
Yeah, it probably was.
But not the 2013 you said?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think that one was
I think that would have been Sporting Kansas City, yeah.
Oh, yeah, look, it says November 2010, they rebranded.
Oh, okay.
And they moved to Children's Mercy Park.
Yeah. Sporting KC began in 1996, and they were one of the OG kind of MLS teams.
I used to follow them slightly because we didn't have a team.
Yeah, they're the closest team.
Yeah, it was them in Houston because I'm from Houston, so it was always watching Dynamo and the Wizards, and I think it was around the 2000 or when they got to the semifinal of the MLS Cup. I used to like watching Dom Dwyer.
Oh, okay.
So good. He was going.
Is he a legend? Would you say? I have no clue.
I don't know. I don't really. I would say
For them, I would say so.
I would say so,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I really don't know the old school players. Like I don't know if Graham Zusi's considered a sporting.
Oh, he's got to be a legend.
He has to be, right?
Yeah, I mean, he
Okay.
was on the World Cup teams for.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I don't know how many years, but
Yeah, he probably is a legend.
yeah, and he's been there for so long. He's still kicking.
Yeah.
I don't know how.
Yeah.
Who knows?
But I mean, this KC team, so obviously they started off the year really bad, but they don't have that bad of a lineup. Like their front three isn't bad. And actually I was looking at their season preview that was written before the season started, and 4 of the 13 MLS analysts had them finishing in the top 3 of the Western Conference.
Really? I can kind of see that. They're coming into some good form right now, and they can play stylistically a lot of different ways. So in the Seattle game, Seattle's probably the best team in the West. We could concede that for now.
Better than LA. Debatable.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Debatable.
I don't know. I feel like
It might be LA.
yeah.
It's
debatable.
probably
It's
LA, but top 2 in the West. They smacked us around.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but then they lost. They got ran through by Portland,
Yeah.
and then now KC.
KC beat them 2-1. Yeah. But they allowed Seattle, after getting that early goal, to kind of dominate the ball and play kind of the way that we would like to. I wouldn't say it was as high of a press, to kind of low blocked it and counterattacked a bit more. But they pulled out a result there. And then the next week in the Minnesota game, you guys remember how Minnesota plays. They do not care about
Low
the
block.
ball. And they were able to create a lot of opportunities in that game. And I don't think that the scoreline tells the whole story in that game, because if you watch it back, shout out Sun Bin Young, he started playing now, the Korean Mbappe for Minnesota. He was dancing on him at one point in the game when it was 2-0, I think. Got himself a penalty, and then he tried to bank on the goalie, just going any direction. Goalie stayed
he
right
went
down the
down the-
middle, and he just sent it straight
What
into
an
him.
idiot.
Yeah. So feeling for the Korean Mbappe right now, because that game could have been a little bit different
Nah.
if they get that goal back. But
I hate anyone that goes down the middle. As a goalie, as an old goalie,
I know.
I hate it.
It's fraud tactics.
It's just,
It's
I don't like
lack
it.
of confidence.
I think you're kind of scared. You're like, I don't know where to go.
I don't know
I'm
what
just
to
gonna
do.
go down the
and
middle.
I don't want him to save it, and I don't want to miss this.
Yeah, no, I don't like that.
I don't want to miss it. That's really what it is.
Yeah,
like,
I don't wanna miss
want to
this.
shoot it to the side and hit the post.
Put it
or
wide.
What's worse, straight down the middle or blowing it over the bar?
I would rather over the bar is not good. Speaking from experience.
I would rather be able to say that I was the reason that it was messed up, in the sense that the goalie didn't read me and know that I was going down the middle. I just blew it over.
Okay.
I messed it up. I slipped. Whatever.
It was me, not him.
Right. It was me, not him. I can
got
fix
you.
it. Not this dude knows what's going on in my brain.
I don't know. I'd rather put it on target and give myself a
But
chance.
down
of
the middle?
scoring.
This is assuming he's saving it. Because if I'm putting it down the middle, there's a good chance
True,
he's
true.
not saving it
True.
because he's going a direction.
I
But
agree.
True.
I just like to see people's perspective
yeah,
on that.
either way, it's a missed pen.
yeah,
I think one is better than the other. Just for my own, ego.
I also like to bring it up because Jonah missed a penalty in our semifinal game in a tournament in high school.
Yep.
And he'll never live it down.
I'll
So
never
don't-
let him.
So
live it
don't
down.
miss pens, people. If you take anything away from this today, don't miss a penalty.
Yep. It feels really bad, especially when you're the only one on the team to
Everybody else
miss.
scored.
Dude,
And when your team loses 5-4 in penalties and you blasted it over, yeah, that feels not good.
yeah, it's my sister's last year in high school, and she had her district final soccer game last night. They lost. But the game
Rip.
before that went to double OT into pens, 0-0 the whole time.
Oh,
Yeah. And 2 girls on one of the teams blew both of their penalties over the bar, and I saw them walking by me as they were leaving, just bawling, crying. I
Yeah,
was
that
like,
was-
yeah.
that was
you just
me.
L dance
If
on him?
you- no, we're not Fortnite dancing in public, but it was definitely feels bad. Back to Sporting KC, they've got some pretty fantastic attacking players, I would say. Pulido,
Definitely.
he's a beast, man. If you go watch some of his highlights, he's really tricky on the ball and quick for a 32-year-old. He moves very well and makes people look really stupid in this league.
He cost Kansas City $9 million.
Really?
Yeah, which
What-
is like astronomical.
That's
in this
insane
league.
for an MLS fee.
Yeah,
That's
they bought him
ridiculous.
from
And for
Chivas.
how old?
Well,
Did you say he was?
He's 32
that was-
right now. That was a while ago.
Yeah.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah.
I also feel like you said a little bit earlier that Sporting has like different ways to play.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's our problem. We don't.
No, we have one way.
We have one,
Mhm.
and when it doesn't work, we panic.
I think that they have a lot more attacking depth in terms of what their players can do up top. Pulido can play a lot of different ways. He can do everything that Gio does, as well as you'll see him be in the box for crosses and stuff like Klaus
Like a
can
target
be.
man.
Yeah, kind of
But-
like a target man.
He does drop back, kind of like how Klaus does too, and
Mhm.
drop into the midfield and try and get the ball and turn and pass to some of his teammates making runs. So he's definitely one to watch.
I feel like we also need more, like you said, that he can take on players and very skilly. Like we have Celio, which I
Mhm.
love, but I think we need more. Someone that can run at someone and take them on.
Yeah, I think that we would play a 4-3-3 if they felt like Gio could play that right wing spot.
Mm.
Obviously, they see something that we don't,
Yeah.
where he's not up to it at right wing, because I think Celio has proved that he could take over that wing position on the
Yeah.
left and kind of cut inside.
I agree.
I think he said, like Gio has said before, he prefers playing as the second striker.
Really,
Yeah, like he was playing on the right in France, and he just like he was doing it and he was getting minutes and he wasn't doing that bad. I mean, he didn't really score.
yeah.
I feel
But
like you get the ball less probably, so he wants
Yeah.
the ball more.
yeah, I think that is what it is. He wants the ball more, and playing as a second striker, he kind of has the freedom to like float into spaces wherever they are and find the space for himself. So I think that's kind of what suits his skill.
But
and
without
what he
Klaus
prefers.
playing that second striker is
Well,
because right now he's
there
the
is no
main-
second
yeah,
striker.
he's-
Yeah,
the main-
there is no second striker.
Yeah,
it always goes back to Klaus, missing Klaus.
Yep.
and missing our backup to Klaus.
Yeah.
Deneron, please.
Come back.
Yeah.
Their other two wingers are, is it Johnny Russell?
Yeah, Johnny Russell, he is a 33-year-old Scottish right winger. And so far this year, he has 8 appearances, 1 goal, 1 assist. But in his previous 165 games for KC, he has 53 goals and 31 assists, which is like almost a goal or assist every other game.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
So that's like, as a winger especially, like
Yeah.
that's what you expect from your center forward. Like if you have that every other game, that's really good. But as a winger, that's just even better. And so he was actually Sporting Kansas City's MVP last year as voted by the fans. And then their left winger on the other side, he is a 26-year-old from Hungary. His name's Daniel Saloy. And he kind of came up through the KC Academy. And this year, he's been their most productive player. He has 3 goals, 3 assists. And in his last 170 appearances, he has 48 goals, 24 assists
Wait, he has their most goals
this year.
with 3.
Yeah, 3
That's-
goals, 3 assists. But
Well,
you
they've
got to
been
remember,
really-
I'm pretty sure they only have 8 goals
yeah.
this year.
So how many does Klaus have alone?
5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know why
He's
I
been
thought
out
it was-
for a while.
I really thought it was a lot more. I thought he had an 8, so I was like, that's kind of
I think
crazy.
Buanga is leading the league with 9.
Yeah. So he's outscoring the whole team. But
Yeah.
right now, we're not outscoring anyone.
No, yeah,
So,
yeah, it's.
we got to worry
I just
about
gotta try to find any way to talk shit on.
I know.
I just don't like him.
It seems like they've made some pretty savvy signings as well. So one of their DP slots got filled by Nemanja Radoja this summer. He is a Serbian that was without club, but he's from La Liga and played at Levante and Celta Vigo for the last 5 years. So that's a pretty savvy signing,
That
even
is.
though he's 30. But 30 for a midfielder isn't
It's not that
bad.
especially the MLS.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Are they an aging squad? I feel like I keep hearing 30s and 29s.
I think they do have one of the
Yeah.
older average ages. I can
Yeah.
I can look at it real quick.
Some say aging, some say experience.
Yeah.
Vet presence.
Call it whatever you want. Yeah, 26.6 is definitely a lot higher than our squad, but I don't think it's the highest even in the MLS.
Yeah.
So
Gotcha.
Graham Zusi's probably making that average pretty high too.
yeah.
I don't know
How old is Graham
I have
Zusi at this
no
point?
idea.
He's been around forever. I remember when I first started watching the US play, he was on the team.
Yeah.
And that was I don't know, at least 12 years ago.
That's
Longer than that, I don't know.
Graham Zusi is 36 years old.
wow.
Looking like Luka Modric.
Nowhere
Hey,
near
psych.
Luka. Well,
Not
maybe
looking like
maybe
Luka.
today's performance of Luka Modric.
No.
We don't
Yeah.
got to talk about
No,
it. We
we-
don't got to talk.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
Man.
But he doesn't even start in their back line anymore. They've kind
Yeah, I feel
of
like
pushed him out of the team. At
He's-
36,
he's-
it's hard to.
he's got like a captain, like a
Yeah, morale.
Leadership.
morale. Yeah, like
Yeah.
in halftime, like get him back up.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Good for the locker
you
room.
need one of those.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Being
Every team
around the
does.
league, knows refs. Yeah, it's very good to have a player like that.
Very valuable. And then one of the other midfield signings that they were able to make, other than Radoja, was Eric Thommy, who they signed on a free, I believe. Or no, it was 1.7 mil from. Or no, it was a free. I'm sorry. He's an attacking midfielder. He's 27 years old, and he came from Stuttgart. So a Bundesliga
side.
player on a free. I don't know how we're like pulling that, but good for them.
I feel like recently there's been a lot of Bundesliga and MLS. Like
Yeah, like a transfer intermingling.
yeah, like we send like youngsters there to play, or
Yep.
like
And they send some of their players here.
Well, I know.
They're retarees.
I know that Bayern has an agreement with.
I think couple clubs have
is it
agreements.
with Dallas or who?
I don't
Where
remember.
they like have some kind of agreement with their youth development programs, and they kind of like if they think one player is ready to kind of step up, they might go to Bayern, and if Bayern has a player in their academy who they think maybe needs more minutes, they might get sent over to the MLS.
It's with
for a couple
LAFC.
years. With LA, wow,
Yeah.
dang, that's pretty crazy actually.
I
Yeah.
like that. I feel like
I like that, except that I don't like that LAFC is getting Bayern academy
Yeah.
players
especially when they're like
when
just
they're
won the
already
league.
good.
Yeah, they are already very good.
I'm pretty sure they're already the most valued team in MLS, and they've only been.
Hey, man, could be us.
Yeah, it will be us.
Will be.
It will be.
It's funny that you say that because the MLS just released the salaries
Oh,
for all the players in the MLS, and St. Louis is second to bottom for transfer or for salary spend.
Yeah.
Which makes sense because we only have 2 DPs
and we're fairly new.
and we're new, right? So we
They-
got a bunch of young guys.
We ain't gonna be paying people off the bat.
Yeah.
But what was crazy that you mentioned to me yesterday that Ostrak
Yeah,
is what
he's
top.
like our 5th high or like 6th or 7th highest player.
Well, he's kind of young.
yeah, but he's not
and
good.
I understand that.
He was highly recruited.
He's
though.
pretty highly recruited,
Oh,
right?
That scouting report was all
Is
BS.
all
Because
fucked
I'm
up.
not with it. Like he has not.
What's
been
got it
good.
wrong there?
Like I don't know. I know Chris loves him and everything, but
Give him some time. Give him some time. We're in a poor run of form. Maybe when we start winning some games, you'll see him in the lineup and you'll change your mind.
nah.
I agree. I'm on the optimistic side.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm with the hate.
I am
Leuven.
bringing
I
hate.
do not like that Leuven has gotten no hate in these past games.
No, he deserves hate. He's
but
been
no
bad.
one. I feel like every time I go on Twitter, people are like, "Oh, he had an okay game." No, he had a dog shit game.
Yeah, he had a
gets
bad
too
game.
frustrated with himself, and then, or he's just trying every single pass he does is try to a fancy flick pass,
Yeah.
outside the foot,
I agree.
or blasting because he gets mad at people like not making a run. It's like that's not helping us. You're supposed to be one of the. Is he a DP? Right?
Yeah, he is.
He's supposed to be one of the
Him and
leaders.
Klaus.
Like I'm not with it.
No, him and Berkey. Klaus or Leuven isn't a DP. Sorry,
Leuven's
it's
not.
Klaus and Berkey that are
Okay.
DPs. Yeah,
Okay, then I take it back. That part.
but even still, he's a 30-year-old midfielder. He's supposed to be the engine of the
Played
team.
in
He's-
Bundesliga.
right? Like Bundesliga kind of veteran for
Like,
years.
I can see that it could get you mad, like having to play from that level to a lower level, especially a new team.
Yeah, like I'll play some passes and 5-a-side, and I like put my head down because I'm like, how did you not
but
get
don't
to that
act
ball?
like a child. Like you're
Yeah,
one
you're
of our
supposed to be a
best-
leader.
Yeah,
You-
I still think he's one of our best players. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
Like how much we were hyping him up, how much we were expecting from him. These last few games, I don't
Not
like it.
impressed.
Not impressed whatsoever. And he doesn't. No one's calling him out for it.
Yeah,
I'm not
I think
with it.
I think you can see his frustration on the field because I don't think he's doing as well as he would have expected himself to, and kind of probably the standards he expects. Even though some of it does have to do with the rest of the team being
Yeah.
out of form.
But I feel like he shouldn't be showing it. That's like saying like I don't know, Benzema's out here on the field just like getting mad and like crying to like the refs or the
Yeah.
other players because
I mean,
He's
it's
making
something
bad
that people
passes.
would have said about Ronaldo a lot
Yeah.
when he was at Madrid.
Yeah.
Not getting past a ball when he's got like a tap in or something like that. You see that a lot with Leuven, where he is visibly frustrated and
But
like,
I think
sometimes mad
Yeah.
at the players that he's playing with because he thought they should have made a run, thought they should have settled it better, and that's fair criticism to leverage against your teammate. But you can't be a leader
Yeah.
and behave in that manner. You
Yeah,
can't be kind
'cause
of
it
a
looks
diva
bad.
player.
It
Yeah.
looks super
I
bad
don't like
on
that.
on the field, and it kind of just brings everyone down. Like, it's not uplifting your teammates. It's not giving them confidence. It's just making them feel bad about themselves.
Yeah.
And like, that's not how anyone's gonna get better.
No, that's a
and
very
it's
poor
gonna,
example.
It's gonna start like trauma maybe like
Yeah, it could. Yeah,
which we don't want at all.
Mm-hmm.
I just had to go on a little Leuven rant because no one's been hating on him, and I just
Yeah.
don't like it.
fair enough.
Like-
No, I understand.
Because, like we said, he's probably one of our best players and most important players. Like people have said, like if he's having a bad game, like the team's having.
We are having a bad game.
Which
Absolutely.
is like
That's true.
he's been having a lot of bad games in a row.
Mm-hmm.
And I agree that we need Klaus back because like when they were playing, it was silky smooth, like how they
Mhm.
were running all the passes and everything. But
Mhm. They have a good understanding of each
You-
other.
Very
Same
much
with
so.
Gio.
Mhm.
We just need Klaus. Look,
but I'm saying like,
we've said it before. We're gonna say it
but the
again.
thing is like, God forbid, if Klaus gets hurt again later in the season.
Yeah.
Because if this goes all over again, like
we would
call-
need to call back Adeniran.
But it
That's the
doesn't-
only. It doesn't matter. Like,
But like even though like Leuven, if we lose our best player again and this starts over again,
Mhm.
that he has to change. Like we're like, okay, we lost him. Let's move on to something else. Not
Yeah.
keep getting mad at the other players because
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't want every podcast we have to have a rave about how bad the players are playing. So let's talk about this weekend.
yes. Let's.
We're talking about. We're probably going to see the same lineup that Kansas City have played the last two games. They've had one swap, and it was in the midfield. Gary Kinda dropped, and he was also one of their DPs for Walter. And that's the only change in the lineup that they've seen. They're starting to build something. They're winning games. They want to keep things
Makes sense.
the same.
Makes sense.
For us, we haven't been doing shit. We've been tossing random lineups out there, kind of seeing what sticks. What do you guys think we're going to see at the weekend? Because I think that there's some not so great news about the guy we were just talking about that we need desperately.
Yeah. So what Ian's trying to say is that Klaus was not practicing yesterday with the team.
Like the ones that the season ticket holders
Yeah,
got to
like
watch.
it was the practice that was open to fans, so everyone went to the stadium, and it seems pretty fun. Like pretty. Cool
I would
event.
want to go to that.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
But so yeah, Klaus is not back. I don't believe Alm
I
is
don't think-
back.
I think Nielsen. I heard that Nielsen was there because his
He
kids
was there
were
with
there.
his kids, but he
but I don't
wasn't.
think
He wasn't
practicing,
playing.
so
yeah.
he probably is not going to play either. So all three of them are
So
out.
all three of them are still out, and then Nelson is out because of his red card that he got, which obviously we already talked last week how stupid it was. But so, what are your ideas if you could meet with Bradley Carnell and tell him what you think he should do?
So I think that Wednesday's lineup is just a bad idea. I don't think we should keep putting Leuven in some kind of forward, like attacking position. He should play that 8, and Miggy should be next to him because I think we're going to need Blom to play that right back role to fill in for Nelson. Or left back role, I'm sorry.
Not
But
Pedro.
oh, yeah, never mind.
See,
Maybe we'll see Pedro.
I
That's
did.
true.
I went with a whole different lineup. Like formation. Sorry,
Formation?
that we haven't tried.
Okay.
What you
I
thinking?
I went with a 3-4-2.
3 in the back.
Well, it's technically a 5 because
Okay.
there's 2 wing
The
backs.
wing backs.
But it's
Mhm.
3 while attacking.
Okay.
So I have
Hebert
Barlett on the right, Parker down the middle, and Hebert on the left.
Okay.
Then I have Pedro as the left wing back, and then this one's a mixture because I do want Blom.
Yeah, but you don't want to play and you also don't want to play Nowinski.
Don't want to play Norris. So it's
But I want Blom in the midfield if we can have him there.
But I also want Vasilev in the midfield. But I want Leuven in the midfield. So this is the part where I was gonna put
Okay.
just Blom at the right wing back because he could still go forward and he
Yeah.
could
Okay.
even still shift in central.
Yeah,
and
I think
someone
that-
shifts out wide.
Mhm.
I think that makes more sense because you'll see Blom kind of shift in
Yeah.
when Pedro makes his
Yeah.
bounds forward.
So then Blom on the right wing back. Then the two midfielders are Vasilev and Leuven. I just think Miggy, he had a great game the first Chicago game. The second Chicago game, he got that early yellow. Then he was a little like he's too reckless sometimes, and I don't think like we should keep. That's a lot for an 18-year-old.
Yeah, he doesn't need to have
high stake
25
games.
starts in the
Yeah,
league.
like,
That's a bad idea.
We can and off the bench he's great. Like
Yeah.
bringing up the pressure, I feel like that'll be good. And then Gio and Klaus isn't gonna play, so Gio and Celio up top.
Isn't that only 10 people? Shouldn't it be a 3-4-3?
Oh, I don't know how to do math.
Yeah, it's okay.
Well,
We'll
then
see.
I just throw Stroud
I was
at the
about to
right
say
wing
Stroud
back.
out on the right, and then
Yeah,
Blom in
I
the
mean
mid.
right wing, and then put
Okay. So,
Could work.
obviously, I think Parker, Hebert. So, I don't have 5 in the back. I got 4 in the back, how we've kind of been playing. And I think Parker, Hebert, Gio, Berkey, like, obviously, those guys are all solidified. So, I think Pedro's going to play left back.
Yeah.
And then what I would like to see at right back instead of Nerwinski, because obviously
our
no
wing
one
backs.
here likes Nerwinski on the podcast. So I would like to see Stroud there, actually. I don't know if we've seen Stroud at right back. And, like, obviously he's not the biggest, most physical guy, which would kind of be a downfall. But he would be able to cross the ball if that's what we're going to be doing. He'd be able to make runs forward. I don't know. I'd just like to see something different, you know?
That's why I went with the 5 in the back because I was like,
yeah,
it's not working. But
So then
something new.
going forward from there, so I would like to switch the formation to a 4-1-4-1. So we're going to have one defensive midfielder, which would be Blom.
Okay.
And then we would have 2 8s, which would be Vasilev and Leuven. So neither one of them would be a 10, which means that they wouldn't be pressing up as high, but they both be kind of box-to-box roles.
One of them's got license to go further forward than
Free
the
roam.
other,
But
and
they'd
just kind
cover
of-
for each other,
right.
which would be
Exactly.
nice.
Mm.
And then on the wings, I would have Aziel Jackson and Celio.
Jackson.
Yeah.
I like Jackson.
No,
I
I
think
do
that
too. I
with the
just-
ball, he could run at people.
No,
and could be dangerous.
I like him. I just did not expect. I just did not expect it, to be honest.
I think if we see that lineup, I think it's more likely that you see Ostrak start out on the right.
Yeah.
Because I don't think that Carnell trusts Jackson with
Yeah.
a league start yet.
Which I mean, you could argue that maybe Ostrak deserves that based on his performances that he's put in over Aziel Jackson.
What performances?
I mean, just because Aziel Jackson hasn't really like put up anything other than the Union Omaha game.
yeah.
Well, no, the first Chicago game he didn't do terrible,
He
but
didn't like he didn't have that good of a game,
I,
but it's also because the rest of the like he had bright spots.
no, I agree.
So I
got you.
like what I've seen from him so far this season. So having him and Celio on either wing, I think would be like very direct, very attacking. They can kind of beat players, and I think that's what we've been missing. So I think those guys on the wings with Gio in the middle, and then the 2 8s, running up and down. I think maybe that would be a good look for St. Louis City.
We just need a creative spark. I don't know where it's going to come from. Could be Aziel Jackson, could be Ostrak, could be Celio coming off the wing in his kind of preferred position for the first time. But we desperately need some kind of new service for goals because we have no ideas right now,
nothing.
and it's really, really hard to watch.
Yeah,
So,
there was a couple times I turned off the TV last game,
yeah, I mean,
but I like watching him too much that I turned it back on.
I saw Nelson get that red card, and I
Ah.
was at a graduation party watching the game, so I was like, yeah, I think I'm done here, and grabbed some wine from the winery I was at.
Just chug it up.
Plugged it down, yeah.
Yeah, and the other reason I like Blom playing that 6 role, that center defensive mid, is that it allows Leuven and Vasilev to both try to bring that creative spark and not have to worry so much about being back for counterattacks. And, like, it just gives everyone more freedom.
I think Leuven is almost too conscious of that at times. You will see him get to a point on the field, and he, like, genuinely will not move past it because he knows that he is very valuable in transition.
And
So,
in the 4-4-2, what we've been playing, like, he has to be
he has to.
cognizant of that. So I think the 4-1-4-1 formation would be a good. I wish I could tell Carnell that.
But
I
do
wish
you
he would
think-
listen to the podcast.
But how we've been talking about how Celio hasn't had, I mean not Celio, sorry, Gio hasn't had backup. putting him as that one.
I know. I feel like he's
alone?
going to be really isolated.
That's
and
even. I feel like more. Yeah, I
and-
don't know.
kind of
I mean,
thrown him under the bus, honestly, because we're gonna if this game doesn't go well and we play that formation, you're gonna see a lot of Gio not touching the ball.
Yeah.
Like I feel like he
True.
will be
Or a
totally
lot of like just
isolated
over the top balls, which
that don't end up doing anything.
I hate
Well,
those.
so I guess 4-1-4-1, maybe that's not like the greatest way of putting it. Maybe think about it as a 4-3-3 with Celio and Aziel Jackson, like
Right.
Okay.
Kind of
really
pushing
being
up
wingers,
further, but in
being
defense.
forwards.
I
Yeah,
understand.
I like
Yeah.
that. I like that one better.
And then, like, that being said, Gio needs to kind of drop over to the side, drift to the side, find the space, work with the wingers, and kind of like try and combine, you know, maybe do some quick 1-2s and send someone in behind. I think that really could work. I mean,
I think it could too.
obviously, I mean, you think Carnell hasn't thought of this stuff?
I know.
Do
They've
you
been
have a
trying
diff-
for weeks.
Do you have a different formation or anything?
No, I was kind of hoping to see something like a 4-3-3. Just we need goals, man. I don't care if we let in 4. If we like score a goal,
Yeah.
I would be pretty happy.
I
because
would
we
not
have-
like to lose 4-1.
I agree, but I'm
Oh
just,
no. Yeah. I
It's
didn't-
just the sentiment of we cannot buy a goal right now.
Oh, yeah.
So I would like to see any type of creativity and goal scoring that we could see.
I don't know how big this game is. The whole like rivalry. And
I think we're
us
gonna win.
Being at home, yeah, we're gonna score. I feel like we're gonna find a goal.
Yeah.
It might not be from Gio, our main striker right now,
That's fine.
or striker. Yeah, anyone.
I
I'll
don't
take a
care.
goal from Berkey right now.
Yeah.
Or
He might boot one up there.
Yeah, I'll take it from anyone. I really hope that we can destroy him like 4-0 like City did
That would feel so.
Real Madrid today. Like I need a performance like that. I need a dominating
dominating win.
like I also just hope that City don't bottle the league like Arsenal did.
Oh,
Like
okay,
I can't
see.
have that. Like we were just first and second.
I know.
Like I can't have them just bottle.
Can't
it
happen
against-
again.
See, I just had to bring
After
it
Marlon
up.
got some digs in at us. As an Arsenal
As
fan.
a Barca fan who just won the league
Yeah.
over Real Madrid.
As a current Arsenal fan, there is some exciting news in the U.S. soccer world that we can touch on before we get out of here. Folarin Balogun, the
Yes.
20-year-old striker, formerly English striker, now swapping his nationality officially with FIFA to be a United States men's national team player.
Crazy.
That is so huge for the U.S. national because, like, literally the entire World Cup and leading up to that, the entire debate was who's going to be our striker? Who's going to be that main guy? Like, we have the midfield, we have the wingers, our defense is pretty good. We have the guy.
I still chuck it up to not taking Pepe. Berhalter fucked that all up. And
Yeah.
What an absolute moron.
not taking Pepe is just the dumbest thing I've ever like witnessed.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
now I kind of feel for Pepe. I feel bad for Pepe. We were talking about it yesterday. He has been going crazy
Really?
for club.
In the
Oh, okay.
Eredivisie
Yeah,
or whatever.
and
say-
then he's getting interest from bigger clubs. Like he's having a good season. I was like, oh, he's our main man now.
Mhm.
Now we get him, which I'm excited. Don't get me wrong.
Competition breeds success.
I agree. It's just like
we want to see them.
He just
all
was
play.
like he probably was thinking like, oh, I'm the number one. I'm
Mhm.
the number 9 for the team, no matter what.
Yeah.
Now he's like, oh shit.
There is something to be said about having confidence in your spot.
Yeah.
But when a 20-year-old that's scoring 20 goals in a season in Ligue 1
That's
comes
good.
to play for the U.S., you're like, yes.
That
Top
video,
5 league.
Mm-hmm.
that video that they dropped.
Oh, I know.
Oh
that
my
was
God.
awesome.
Never felt more patriotic or American.
Had chills.
I started singing the national anthem at work at that moment when I watched it.
Broke out into the song.
Just straight.
The customer you were helping was like, what's going on?
Yeah, he kind of got scared and walked away. I was like, huh.
It is what it is.
Hey,
There's more important
You're not
things.
a real American. He
Yeah.
didn't know. He didn't know.
I think that's all we got for today.
I do have
Prediction?
some closing thoughts before. I mean, we could get to predictions as well. But
Yeah.
I mean, obviously we've been having a pretty poor run of form. But that being said, 3 of our top 10 highest paid players are injured, can't play. We're still, top 3 in the league. Like, everyone's kind of acting like it's doomsday, but really, like, if you take a step back and look at it, for an expansion side, we're doing pretty great.
No, yeah. If I think about it as a reasonable fan,
Yeah.
yes, if we go back, I wasn't on the first podcast of Soul of the City, but my prediction was either we make that last spot for playoffs or we just
Or we're
miss
like,
it.
okay.
So obviously, looking at it as a reasonable fan and looking at where we are, we're doing amazing. We
I
can
said we're
lose
gonna
this
miss
next
it,
game, and
so-
I don't care.
Yeah.
Like if we still make the playoffs, that is huge.
I predicted 4th, and I'm currently
And we
the
gave
closest.
you so much shit.
Yep.
I gave you so much shit for that. I was like, "Are you crazy?"
I know ball. What can
Mm.
I say?
What can he say?
But now that I just feel like we got the first 5 games undefeated. Like I was like, "Oh man, we're winning
since
the league
then,
now."
it's expectations have changed.
Yep.
We can reel them in a little bit, but one thing we don't
Slightly.
like here in St. Louis is losing.
we don't
Yeah.
So you can't show us,
success and then
Success and
take
then
it away right away.
rip it from us.
Yeah.
So we're hoping we get back on the winning train this weekend, thanks to our home state almost rivals.
Yep.
Slightly.
Almost.
But yeah, we're missing our best center back, our best striker, our best winger,
Okay, I don't like that. The best center
our
back.
highest paid center back.
Yeah, I mean, he probably will be, but I feel
Yeah.
like
He
Hebert
could-
right now
could
is our
be.
best center back. Which
But
I
even still, I don't think Hebert being our best center back is like a great thing.
That's true.
So,
But yeah,
Anything
score
else?
predictions.
what do you want? A reasonable answer? I'm just playing. I'm going with 2-0 win.
Okay.
Just easy. I feel like the crowd getting behind the team at home is going to be electric. I
too
feel
much
like,
for Kansas City to handle.
Yeah, it's going to be too much. And I think Berkey, I think Berkey right now is still our best player. Like, he's saved us in so many games. If we would either be losing by a lot more or we would have lost a lot more games if it wasn't for him. So I think he will keep a clean sheet. And the 2 goal scorers, I'm going to say I like Gio, so I'm going to go Gio. And then I hope I'm going to go Leuven. I know I went on a hate thing with him, but I think
Give
a
Leuven a
goal
goal.
will for sure be great for him.
Yeah, I think so too. What about you, Jonah?
I could see a 2-1 win. I'm just giving them the one just due to like the form of both teams. I do think we're gonna win though. We're at home. They're in last. We're in whatever place we're in after this LA game. I don't know who's gonna score. I feel like it's impossible to predict.
Yeah,
I do think that it's gonna come from the midfield. Hopefully Gio can get one on the score sheet, but I'd expect midfield goals.
I agree. I think we're seeing a win. I'm praying on a banger. I'm going 3-2. I'm hoping it's a classic and sets up the rivalry for years to come.
That would be a good. Yeah, that would be a great
last
start.
minute winner.
Yeah. I don't know about a last minute winner, but
Isn't that Chris's go-to?
take it late.
Outside
Oh, yeah.
the box,
Yeah.
90-minute
Chris.
banger.
banger. Leuven
Every single
right,
score
right
prediction.
foot curler.
Or Ostrak.
Yeah, or Ostrak.
But imagine the scenes.
Oh, I know.
man.
That banger runs to the supporter section.
And dude, if we need anything this weekend, we need the gateway to hell to feel like the gateway to hell.
Yeah.
So fans, if you're making it to the game, please show out for this team. They need your support right now.
No
we
sitting.
need to get a dub.
All standing.
All game.
All unity. I'm scared now.
All for City.
All for City.
Anything else, boys?
Nope.
All right. Thanks for watching. Peace. Thank you for watching this episode of Soul of the City, brought to you by First Touch Media and Anchor FM. Make sure to check us out on YouTube at First Touch Media, and all of our socials are at First Touch 314. Thank you for watching.